Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, it is 3 o'clock, at least in Eastern time. Hope y'all are doing great. And this is a little bonus webinar having to do with Realty Vids, which was a product that sold last week or week before last. Before I get going, can I please get somebody to tell me that you can actually hear me talk? I should be unmuted and you should be able to hear me, but a little feedback on that would be great. And also, you should be able to see the screen. Hey, Jerry, how are you? You should be able to see the screen. And what you're looking at is the Realty Vids sales letter, which obviously you know about because you bought this. So can you guys actually see this as I'm awesome. So this is going to be a short webinar because this is actually very, very easy to do. I mean, the whole goal is to sell real estate agents on providing them with these videos like this, okay, using the templates that you got from the Realty Vids product. And y'all saw this, you got the product, you know exactly what it's about. I'm not here to tell you, what to do with it. I'm just here to tell you how to sell it. So like this has these slides in it, et cetera. And that's all in the instructions on what to do with it. But if you got any questions about the product, just hit up their support. They're good guys who made this, and we'll just take it from there. So the question is, how do you make money with it? And obviously you want to sell this to real estate agents. And, the real goal would be to get a customer who wants you to do this more than once, right? In other words, maybe with all of their listings. So let's talk about how the real estate business works, at least in the United States. I can't talk about how it works in other countries because I've never sold real estate in other countries. I sold real estate myself in Atlanta, Georgia for Remax a long time ago for 10 years. So I actually understand this business. So in the United States, generally, you have a listing agent. So let's say somebody wants to sell a house and you have a listing agent, and that listing agent works with a certain company. And let's say Remax or, whatever, Keller Williams or whatever. They come over, you fill out a bunch of forms, and then your house is listed with them. They put it on the multiple listing service. Hopefully they're going to do a lot of marketing and cool stuff like that. And there's signs in the yard. So let's say that's a Keller Williams agent. So somebody else comes along from some other, company because it's multiple listed, right? So let's say Mary from XYZ Realty picks this up on the computer as a, multiple listed property. It's really good for her buyers. So she gets her buyers in the car. She comes over here. They make an offer. The offer is accepted. You go to closing. When you go to closing, the real estate companies get paid, and they're going to split this commission according to an agreed upon percentage, which is usually 50-50. And then the agents get paid from that. So that's how the business works. So in general, you've got agents who list a lot of properties, and then you've got agents who it's just like any other business is what I'm trying to say. In other words, and I don't know what the percentages are, but probably, I don't know, 5% of the agents probably make 50% of the money, just like any other sales business on the planet. And usually the more successful agents are the ones doing the listing, not always. All right. So at least they're the ones who are going to be wanting that they would have enough listings, let's say per year to, and if they like your service of making this video for them, they would have enough listings per year to provide you with a healthy amount of money, right? For selling these videos to them. So really, that's what you're looking for. You're not looking for any old real estate agent. Although your average real estate agent can list a house or two per year, or 3 or 4, something like that. But really, it would, really what you want is you want you want a few agents who are selling a lot of houses, and especially listing a lot of houses, because they're the ones who are going to be doing the marketing for the houses, and you want to provide this service to them. All right, that's what you're looking for. Now, That's easy. That's fairly easy to find, and in a way, it's easy to find, and it's not easy to find. You just have to sort through a lot of stuff. And I'm going to show you how to sort through a lot of stuff really, really fast. Realtor.com is one of my favorite all-time websites because real estate agents and real estate companies for years have been one of my mainstays for clients for my own offline business. And I love this website. I can use it to reach any, this is for the United States. I can use it to reach any agent in the United States. And let me just, without further ado, let me just show you how to do this. So go to realtor.com, Realtor. There it is, realtor.com. Hit find realtors. This is really hard, guys. So let's just put in something here. I don't know. I was in San Antonio last year. San Antonio, Texas. Now I want you to see how beautiful this is going to be. Forget that. It's going to be virtually every residential real estate agent in San Antonio, Texas. Notice there are 2,500 of them. That's a ton. I don't know how many there are in Atlanta. That's where I live. Let's go back and see how many there are in Atlanta. And there's apparently in Atlanta, Texas. Who knew? Okay. That makes sense. San Antonio is a smaller city than Metro Atlanta. So let's just use this. Rich Wedgen, Mark Spain, big time agent, Blair Branch, Beth Ann, blah, 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 blah. You got all of these agents here, okay? Now, here's the deal. I want you to think through this. This is how I love to sell stuff. Just think psychologically. What is going to get someone, we'll get rid of that from YouTube. What is going to get someone to buy this thing from you? It's not going to be you talking about it. All right. It's literally not going to be you talking about it. It's going to be seeing it. If you can get an example of one of these videos in an agent's hands, you got a really good chance of making a sale because they're really beautiful. They look really good. And believe me, see, one thing, the real estate, at least in the United States, to be a real estate agent, it's a very low barrier entry business. Yes, you got to get a license, but I mean, a dead dog could, get a license. It's really not that hard. You got to pass a test, but I mean, you do not have to be Albert Einstein to pass the test. After that, you're in business. You go to work for a broker. It doesn't cost you anything usually, normally shouldn't. And, the broker gives you, no, I'm not, Vita. I don't actually, that's a great question. Let's talk about this in just a second because I've actually got a specific opinion about that. So again, what's going to sell this is getting an example in the hands of people that you're going to sell it to, because it's a visual thing. This is the point I was going to make before I was reading Vita's excellent question there. Real estate's a very low barrier business. And really, although agents will swear up and down that this is not true, but really, one competent agent is basically a clone of another competent agent. I mean, they do the same thing. In other words, they're all alike, which means that it's really hard for them to convince homeowners to list with, say you got Bill and Mary. Well, as far as the homeowner is concerned, Bill can do the same thing Mary can. It's really hard for them to convince the homeowner to list with Bill as opposed to list with Mary or vice versa. And oftentimes what makes those differences are, sometimes it's because, Bill has a prior relationship with the homeowner. That's just not something Mary can do anything about. But let's say that neither one of them have a prior relationship with the homeowner, like it's a family member, friend, or you actually sold them that house in the past. Um, what is what is going to tip the scale, and it will be barely tipped, by the way. What's going to tip the scale in the favor of one real estate agent over the other real estate agent is a couple of things. Number one is the price that the agent thinks they can list the house for, which is not anything that you can influence as a local consultant. But the other thing is the marketing plan. It's what the agent's going to do to market the house. And right there is where you can give real estate agents um, an extra thing to show homeowners that they're going to do for the homeowner when they list their house. Does that make sense? I mean, basically, when you're and generally you're competing against 3 or 4 agents when you talk to a homeowner about listing their house. And there's virtually always competition. So you're as an agent, you're seeking things that will tip the scale in your favor. A better marketing plan is going to tip the scales in your favor. So this is really what you're providing real estate agents. You're giving them yet another thing to show a homeowner and say, essentially, if you list with us, we're going to do blah, 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 and blah, blah, blah. It's exactly what everybody else's does. But we've also, and you wouldn't say that obviously, but we've also going to make a beautiful, property showcase video for your property. We'll have that up on YouTube and various places on our website, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Is it going to make or break the sale? It's going to help a lot, believe me. A lot of times these things come down to very, very fine differences between the agents. So that's really what you're providing. That's really what you're selling. Okay, you're selling a marketing tool to an agent who needs extra marketing tools so that they can secure a listing. Does that whole? I just want to make sure y'all understand in agents' minds, in your potential clients' minds, how this stuff is working. Does that make sense so far? Somebody say yes or no. Okay, very cool. Now, with that said, all right, you need just one thing to get going in order to start prospecting real estate agents. And what you need is you need an example video. Now, I guess you could go to YouTube and download one of Niranjan's example videos, but I think you really need an example video that's going to look more like the market that you're selling to. All right. So, this house could be in Atlanta, Georgia. I mean, that could easily be where I live. This right here is not really going to look like where I live. This is going to be like the beach in California or somewhere, maybe Florida beach, something like that. You know. Other than that, this is fine. Now, and again, I don't want to get into how these videos are actually made because that's what the product that you bought shows you how to do. So you need a sample video that is kind of like a very nice looking house. I mean, it would be stills from a very nice looking house in the area that you're prospecting. And granted, different places look differently. Like, and I was actually talking with someone who was a leasing agent in Manhattan the other day, but this does not look like Manhattan, New York, right? This does not look like Manhattan at all. So if you're talking to someone who's just working the residential Manhattan marketplace, which obviously is a high-end marketplace, but if you're talking to somebody who's working that and you show them this, there's going to be a mismatch between what they're used to seeing and what you're showing them, and they're going to, there's a possibility, a very strong possibility they're going to think, oh, this isn't for me. I mean, if I were an agent in Atlanta and you showed me this, I might think, oh, okay, well, that's pretty cool, but that's not quite for me right now. You got to basically make things as close to what the agent is selling as possible. Now, this does not mean that you need to do a ton of homework and figure out, are they selling houses from $500,000 to $1 million or from $2 million to $4 million? You don't have to figure that out. You just want something that is not jarring when you look at it for that marketplace. How can you figure out what a marketplace looks like? Hello, we've got. Um, God, I'm having a senior moment. Not Twilio. They're two websites that people use in the United States too. Zillow, thank you so much. I was combining two words there. Yeah, Zillow. We've got Zillow. I mean, you can just go look, right? So Trulio, yep, Zillow, Trulio, same idea. You can just go look and you can get a good idea. It might actually be a really good idea for you to start locally. In other words, for you to start prospecting instead of, I'm in Atlanta, Georgia. So for me to start prospecting in Atlanta, Georgia, as opposed to San Antonio, that probably would make a lot more sense. That doesn't mean that you can't prospect other cities or other countries for that matter. Like if you're in the UK, or even in Poland. I mean, it really doesn't matter. That does not mean that you can't prospect the United States. It's a global marketplace. But you do want to keep the look and feel as close to, without stressing out about it too much. You do want to keep the general look and feel to be close to the market that you're prospecting. Now, once you get an example video, you need to put it up on YouTube. That would be the minimum, and that's just fine. It's just fine for you to have your example video up on YouTube. Where are you going to get the example video? You're going to follow the instructions here and make one, or have somebody make one for you using this. Okay, so that's where you're going to get that from. Put that up on YouTube minimum. If you have a website, you want to devote a page on your website to this, then create a page, put it up on there, because you're going to need a link to send people. Now, let's go back to the realtor.com, because this is like the coolest thing on the planet. And I just want you to see this. This is so beautiful. You can actually just sit here and click these and email these people. And it is amazing. And so you might be wondering, is this just going to some junk place? Are they actually checking it? Well, yeah, heck yeah, they're checking. I mean, these guys are salespeople and they need leads, right? So your name, your email, your message, bam. Let's talk about what message you might want to put in there. And really, you don't need to be you don't need to be prospecting like hundreds of these guys per day. I mean, if you literally prospected 10 per day, in other words, sent emails, I'm going to show you a cold email in a minute. If you literally sent a cold email along the lines of what I'm going to show you to 10 of these guys per day, you're going to start making some sales. And again, what you're really you're looking for a person who, I mean, this does not mean that you wouldn't sell this to someone else, okay? But you're really looking the big game, okay? I don't know. I still know some real estate agents in Atlanta. I don't know Rich, but he's been doing this 37 years, and I'm guessing he's got a lot of listings, all right? Usually agents who have longevity list a lot of houses. So let's say Rich lists a lot of houses. You're looking for a guy like this, or a gal like that. How many? 67 houses, Blair Branch, Huckabah. This tells you that. She listed a house yesterday. Let's see when Rich listed his last house. Rich listed a house today, right? So this is cool. In other words, these are very active agents. It's not going to take many Riches or many Blairs who are listing a lot of houses for you to convince that it's a really good idea, and it's not going to take much convincing. Matter of fact, it's going to take no convincing on your part. It's just really going to take you sending them this example video and saying, hey, if you're interested, I can do this for, for your listing. Once you get a few of these guys who are doing a lot of business, you're going to be very busy, and you're going to be selling a lot of these. And then, I love recurring income, right? So you're going to be able to work your way to where you have a few clients paying you good money every month, and then you can add on other services to that. Because believe me, real estate agents need amazing amount of help with all this stuff. But this is just right here. I mean, this is like undiscovered gold or something. I mean, it's just insane how easy it is to email these guys. And they're going to get it, because I used to be one of these guys. When you're a real estate agent, you're very hungrily looking for the next lead. You're hungrily looking for the next, listing or the next buyer. So let me give you a good email that you could use. You write your own, but I want to show you what kind of a good approach. All right. And I would encourage you to put this in your own words so that you sound like you instead of sounding like me. But this is the kind of gentle approach that you need to approach these people with. So the first thing you're going to say in that message is, I had a question about real estate in Atlanta, San Antonio. That XXX is a geographic location. Um, I've got a question about real estate in Atlanta. I've got a question about real estate in Savannah, Georgia. I've got a question about real estate in Manhattan, whatever it is. Why do you put that sentence first? Because you're not fooling anybody. You actually do have a question. It's not the question that they think you have after they read that sentence. By the time a real estate agent reads that sentence, they're wondering if you are a potential buyer for real estate, or perhaps a potential seller for real estate. That's not your question, but you're not lying. All right. Now, the whole reason for this sentence is so that they will actually read the next sentences instead of hitting the first sentence and just turning off their brains and getting rid of that email. Okay. Now let's read the body of this, and I'll show you what each parts of this do. So my name is, Vita. My name is Jerry. My name is whatever. The reason you put your name first after we've got their attention and opened their minds with that first sentence, the reason you put your name first before anything else is because we want this to be personal. We want it to be a one-on-one personal type deal, personal type basis. We don't want to come off as anonymous. We don't want to come off as not caring. We don't want to come off as corporate. We want to come off as a person who does this kind of stuff, and I'm trying to connect emotionally with another person who sells houses. Okay. So my name is Lee Cole, and now right here, you're going to tell them what you do. And again, put this on your own words, please. And I create professional listing showcase videos for agents like yourself. Now, are they really going to know what a listing showcase video is? Well, it's kind of self-explanatory, but I also like the fact that it still needs some explaining, because that's going to create a certain amount of curiosity. Notice how short the email is, right? That's good, because they're going to look at the email and say, oh, okay, short, in other words, I'm flipping through 20 emails right now, and I mean, this is kind of interesting. And since it's short, people don't say stuff like this consciously to themselves, but it's what goes through their heads unconsciously. Since it's short, I can spare this person another second or two to figure out what's going on here. And by the way, what is a listing showcase video? That sounds pretty cool, but it's also a little vague, and it's a little vague on purpose. Now, this is the thing that's going to make the sale. You can see an example here, YouTube. The YouTube link, if you got it on your website, then it would be your website link. Now, you must say this next part, all right? You've got to say this next part. This is a perfectly safe link, by the way. It takes you straight to YouTube or straight to my website, okay? It might actually just be better just to put it on YouTube. You can put it on your website if you want to brand yourself. But this I've never tested, but I have tested emails to agents with and without that sentence that I've got highlighted right there, and that sentence makes a huge difference. So real estate agents are people. They're big picture thinkers. They are salespeople. They probably did not do well in college pre-calculus. I mean, this is a generalization, but it's probably right. They're not bean counters like, accountants. Um, they are just sort of big personalities, right? In other words, they don't know a lot about technology. I mean, they use technology, but it's not like they're not like totally savvy. Now they are using social media. They're trying to use Facebook and Twitter and LinkedIn, and generally falling on their faces doing that. Fumbling around with Craigslist and stuff like that. All of which is excellent places for you to sell them other products, by the way. But they're just a little leery. When I first started prospecting real estate agents years ago, I was doing the same kind of thing. By the way, what I'm showing you will work for a very wide variety of products. I was actually selling another type of product to real estate agents years ago when I first started prospecting real estate agents. And I found out that basically just by calling people back and seeing why they didn't click on the link, I found out that a lot of people were scared to click on the link. And when I actually put that next sentence in, then things started working a lot better. Now you may think, well, if I were a Russian hacker, wouldn't I put that sentence in anyway? Yeah. All that's true. Believe me, put the sentence in. All right, it's going to help. Now, click on this. It's perfectly safe. Now, this next sentence assumes that they've seen this video. All right. But it's okay if they haven't, because it's still going to sell them, explain to them what this is so that they come back and click on the link and look at the video. As you can see, these, and I don't know why I had a comma there, showcase videos really help you market your listings. Now, by that time, do you see how conversational this email is? It's very personal, very conversational. It's very transparent. There's no screwing around. There's no sleight of hand. There's nothing like that. And I'm not trying to sound like a ginormous corporation. I really want this email to sound like this is coming from one well-meaning human being and being sent to another well-meaning human being who, by the way, needs my help. Okay? That's the tenor of what you want your emails to be. So if they hadn't clicked on the link, by the time they read this sentence, as you can see, these showcase videos really help you market your listings. All right. A lot of them are going to go back and click on the link because they're just not going to be able to withstand the curiosity. They're going to have to see what the heck's going on. And then you just go in with a call to action. But it's a gentle call to action. I mean, it's very pulled back. A lot of times in sales, if you can make the other party think they have control or give them control, it ends up a lot better for you because people hate being sold to. They don't mind information. They don't mind being helped at all. They just hate being sold to. So the next sentence, I'd be happy to talk with you sometime about creating one or more of these for you. Notice I don't mention a price. Okay. I offer top quality work, as you can see from the example. Now, the example needs to look sharp like the ones on the sales letter look very, very sharp. Your example needs to look sharp because you've got one shot at somebody seeing this and thinking, wow, man, that looks cool. I wonder if this guy could make a bunch of these for me because I've got, I'm going on a couple of listing appointments and I've got some listings that I need some, help with marketing, blah, 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 right? So I offer top quality work, as you can see from the example, and quick turnaround. Also very competitive prices. Go ahead and put that in. All right, please put all of that in because this is the kind of stuff that, look, by the time somebody reads this, they're kind of sort of thinking that maybe this might be a good thing for them to at least get in touch with you about. And this helps solidify that. It's like telling someone, and this is like sales psychology 101. Whenever a prospect makes makes a comment or says something that bolsters your cause, that supports the idea of buying the thing that you're selling, it is extremely good sales psychology to gently say, "You're absolutely right about that. Yeah, you're absolutely right. Yeah, man, this is a nice house, Lee, isn't it? Yeah, you're absolutely right." And if you think that's trivial, what I just said, the "you're absolutely right" stuff, check out a guy named Jerry Vass, Vass. He was one of the top corporate sales trainers in the 80s and 90s, and he taught me that. All right. So, call to action. You always make it real clear what to do next. Make it very, very easy always for people to buy from you. Well, to buy this from you, they actually need to talk to you, right? Or there's going to need some information going back and forth. Contact me if you're interested in learning more. I tell them, number one, now that you know what this is, you've seen the link, contact me. And the reason I put if you're interested in learning more is because that's very gentle. That's not pushy. All right. And then you tell them how to contact you. Make sure you end in a very polite way. Don't write an email like you're writing it to your best friend from college that you used to go on drinking binges with. Make sure that you write out everything in English. Don't use the letter U for YOU and stupid stuff like that, because that's going to make you look stupid. And it's also going to make you look too young to do this, but it's going to make you look really stupid. So don't do stuff like that. Keep it professional, but make it very, very conversational. Now, hi, so and so. Where did you get that from? Hi, Rich. Hi, Blair. Now, if you focus on one area, Atlanta, San Antonio, wherever you are, then write that in. Take the X's out, write that in. Put your name there. After you do that, notice, and your phone number, your email, your name, notice this puppy is copy and paste. Okay, all you got to do is go here, name, email, hi, Rich, hit Control V, and that's going to paste your email in there. Hit send. Blair, same thing. Email, name, email, hi, Blair, Control V, send. How long is it going to take you to do like 10 or 20 of these a day? I mean, it's literally going to take you, what, 15 minutes, if that? Now, I know I've got a lot of people on my list, and I run a global business. I have never sold real estate in the UK. I've only sold real estate in the United States, specifically in downtown or close in Atlanta, Georgia. Having said that, I wanted to do my best to provide y'all with something. So my friends across the pond. I found a couple of websites. One's called zoopla.co.uk, and the other one's called Rightmove. And you can basically do the same thing here. They have a find agent thing, which I think they're called estate agents instead of real estate agents. So we go here. I'm just saying that for my non-American friends, there's hope. Okay, so God, let's see if I can spell this. I've got a friend who lives here actually, but let's say if I can spell this and also pronounce it. And I think so. Is anybody on this call from the UK? I think that's pronounced Leicester and Leicestershire. I don't know. Did I just butcher that or not? I must have all Americans on here because nobody is laughing at me. But so, UK listeners, I did my best. You guys just have some names of places that are impossible to know how to say. Start search. And these are agents. Now, Leicester's a much smaller place than Atlanta, right? But these are agents, and they have it's an entirely different business, so I can't really speak to how the business works, but you can still email the agent. So those of you in the UK, you're just going to have to take it from here on out, but it's the same idea. You can email the agent, you can find a ton of agents, and you can email a bunch of them over time. I don't think you need to email a ton per day. I think you need to make this part of your prospecting. I hope y'all are prospecting every day. If you're not prospecting every day, you're screwing up. But this is a great thing to add to your prospecting. And again, you get some agents who are selling a lot of houses and got a lot of listings, and they like your service. They're going to buy one of these videos for every single house they list, but more, which is good, and more importantly, they're going to buy a lot of other services from you, and you can make a seriously nice business from just a few recurring income clients. As a matter of fact, we finished an entire coaching class on that last month. But it doesn't, done right with recurring income, it doesn't take many clients to have a killer business. And this is one of the steps that you can take to do that. So that's what it's been about 30 minutes. I wanted this webinar to be about 30 minutes long. It's digestible. I mean, I could make it, I don't even think I could make this harder than it is, because it's literally not hard. It's literally just, as I say it for a lot of things, butt and seat time. Okay. It's you sitting in front of the computer and just doing the same thing over and over again on a very, very consistent way. But that's what I got for you. This is a killer way. I have prospected real estate agents using realtor.com for close to 10 years now. Okay. It is an awesome, awesome way to do that. And this will help you enormously build your business. So that's what I got for you. Any questions before we wrap it up? I'll have this up on YouTube if you want to look at it again. Let's do this. If you're not subscribed to my YouTube channel, I'm going to pop this in there. Yeah, Jerry, I'd keep the pricing. I'd keep the pricing on this fairly low. Okay. I mean, my goal is to find an agent. I mean, I'm happy to sell one to one agent who has one listing per year. That's fine. It's just money, right? But I'm really looking to sell this to, I really would like an agent who's listing 10 or 20 properties a year, and, then just provide them with one of these for each of those properties, and then build on recurring income services after that. So two things. Vita asked me if y'all should give them one for free. I don't like freebies, okay? I really do not like freebies. Guys, I'm putting in the link to subscribe to my YouTube channel in the chat. If you're not subscribed to my YouTube channel, you need to be subscribed to my YouTube channel. It rocks. Tons of information, but I wouldn't do this for free. For one thing, that just gets me a bunch of tire kickers who want stuff for free, and then I still have to have some way of sorting out the people who are really going to pay me money from those. I would rather just go for the people who are going to pay me money. So Jerry and Rafal, I would keep this pricing very low, and you also got to figure in how much it's going to cost you to get this made. Are you going to do it yourself? How much time does that cost you? You're going to, find an outsourcer to do it or something like that. 100, 150 bucks, $100. I mean, if you can keep it down, right around there, then that would be best. But it's not going to be an impulse buy, but you want it to feel like almost an impulse buy. You want Rich to say, well, 100, 150 bucks. Well, I'll try that. Yeah, I'll try. I mean, you want, in his mind, you want him thinking, that's pretty cool. I like that. It's worth me just giving this guy a little money and seeing what it does for my next listing. Okay. You're not going to build a really good income selling these for small amounts of money like that. But what you are going to do is if you will upsell these guys on other services, so you sell Rich, you're now providing Rich with one of these videos for every listing he gets. Let's say he lists 20 houses a year. Let's say you even sold that for $100. So it's 100 times 20 is $2,000. Yeah, it's not enough money. Obviously, it's not enough money to live off of, but it's not a lot of money to get from one client, right? But then on top of that, if you start selling other services, then you take this Rich and you bump him up to $1,000, $2,000 a month that he's paying you, and you can bundle the whole thing together. Rich, if you buy this and that, this video marketing thing and that that social media thing from me, I'll just throw in the videos for you. We'll just put it all together, and it's going to cost you $2,000 a month. If you bought these separately, you're looking at about $3,750 a month. But I'll make you a deal, $2,000 a month. See, you don't need many of those people at $2,000 a month. I mean, 10 would get you $20,000 a month. That's $240,000 a year. Minus your expenses, you're probably going to clear like, I don't know, 200, 190, something like that. Most people can live off of that. I mean, you're not going to become Bill Gates, but that's a very nice income. So guys, you see where my thoughts are on the pricing. And Vita, you can try it free if you want to. I don't do that for the reasons stated. I really don't want to have to separate the wheat from the chaff for those people. I don't want to have to separate the tire kickers out from the one or two who actually would have paid me something. See, so, and you're sending them an example, right? It's not like you're asking them to buy this, right? Just like out of the blue without seeing it, right? I mean, you're sending them an example. You're saying this is what you're going to get. It's going to look really cool, just like this. All right. So that's what I got, guys. It's going to be up on YouTube. If you will subscribe to YouTube, then you get notified. When you subscribe to YouTube, by the subscribe button, there's a little bell icon. Click that. That makes sure you get notified whenever we upload a new video, which I do about 2 or 3 times a week. All good stuff. But as soon as I upload this to YouTube, you will get notified. Okay. Any other questions before we call it a day? Anything else I can help y'all with? Yes, no, maybe. I really hope y'all do this because selling to real estate agents is so incredibly easy. Why is it easy? Because they're salespeople. They are. Here you go, Rafael. They are gifted at talking to people. They are really easy to talk to. Okay, it's what they do for a living. They converse with other human beings for a living. Okay, they're excellent at talking. That means that in the sales, in a sales transaction, as far as if you don't feel good about your ability to sell stuff, these guys are going to carry a lot of the weight for you. Okay, and all you got to do is just send them a very simple email like I showed you, and just say, hey, this is cool. This is what I can do for you. Click on the link, see an example. Yes, it's safe to click on the link. And Jerry says salespeople are the easiest to sell to. Absolutely, because they've lost their fear of other people. And then if you want to follow up on this, here's my details. You do this consistently. The big word's consistently. You do this consistently, you're going to build a very nice business just off this one thing. Awesome, guys. Should be up on YouTube probably tomorrow sometime. Subscribe, and again, you'll get notified. Thank you very much, and appreciate your buying. This is a great product. Hope you're doing well, and I will talk with you very, very soon.